Trapped in the concept, falsely accused, was used, and misled, bitch, I'm hoping you fucking rest in peace.
Way to take on the very top teams, as evidenced by JJ's results. But the difficulty they do have is that their mental game still needs a lot of work. They've, choked a lot of series against players and teams that they should be beating quite comfortably. And this is another one that, they really don't want to play to the level of their opponents. D2E are not a bad team, but they're definitely not at the level that JJ have been at recently.
Yeah, Jamal have always been a very consistent team at punching up. But when it comes to someone that's roughly eye length with them, they have struggled an awful lot more. Let's see what they can bring to us this time around. See if they can actually get that victory that did elude them during the last split, or the last regional, I should say. Good demo there from Toasty. That might open up a couple of options as Krazix tries to just test that one. Already available, though, as the team forced to go a bit more defensive. And who's supposed to be protecting that? They finally get over to it. Follow-up shot from Bambi doesn't really threaten. I want to be a little bit more proactive in the future, not allowing those shots just to go for free. Again, he's going to have to try and chase down. He's done well here. Lots of players being committed, but one important race has been won by J-Bot. Looks for the musties, just slightly off target, but Tool will not be. What a start from Down to Earth.
Yeah, J-Bot is playing fantastically here. That is a beautiful assist at the near post, and Krazix wasn't even too slow to attack that one. Tool recovered from a bump and got to the near post shot faster than any of the defenders. Great stuff from D2E. They're not the, they're not going to get mechanically outclassed, especially with J-Bot really styling early on.
Oh, D2E will want themselves a run back. They ended up losing in the upper bracket last time to Team Envy. If they win this, guess which team they play against? Team Envy. So a chance there as Bambi watches his teammates struggle, and now they're going to need to try and get rid of this. A game where both defenses have been very hesitant towards trying to get rid of the ball as quickly as possible. The demo's coming through. Jamal blocking down here, but it is Bambi. So many mechanics available to him, able to just carry out. J-Bot, though, doesn't look overly comfortable with this. Shot will be off target. The infield passing play was available, and now they're going to get caught on the counter-attack. Toasty's got to get back in time, and he just about will.
Yeah, good recovery there by Toasty. You can see JJ are a bit frustrated they're losing already. They're pressing up extremely aggressively. They don't need to take those risks. Look at the time remaining on the clock. They're going to get chances. They've just got to play a bit more of a safe line of defense here. And I don't think they're going to be as vulnerable on the counterattack.
So far, it just has not been working out for them. Bambi would like to go for the second touch there. Isn't going to get it. A wasted chance this time around from Down to Earth. That's Toasty doing very well. Just, you get the question of where is the chance going to come for them? When are they actually going to get the infield passing play that they've set up well for, but they just haven't really pulled the trigger on it just yet. There's Toasty with LJ and rocketed it towards him. LJ just had to jump and hopefully he managed to get the car behind it. Just too late for him though.
Yeah, you'll love to see the passes being attempted there by JJ, but they're not quite on the same page. Oh, that's brilliant, though. How about that? Again, offloading so close to the goal. The defense have got to be expecting a shot there, but instead it's just a really nice pass. Look at the pre-jumping J-Bot. No chance.
That's the reason why your clears have got to be very, very clean this season. The more frequent reasons that we've seen goals go in. Team's so good now at just crowding around your goal line, waiting for the opportunity. Speaking of which, there's Toasty, and there's goal number 2.
And so finally, we're getting to see what it is that makes this team so special. Just effortless. Toasty getting up to that one to spike it into the open net. They haven't needed to overextend for either of these goals, Shogun. These have just come from, normal midfield play, where Jamal are creating chances for themselves with some fantastic passing. That's promising for them. They were down in this game. They've come back with team play.
Yeah, we did get slight hints of usual issues popping up there for them. But as soon as they backed down a little bit, they got the results that they needed. Maybe a lesson to be learned there for them. J-Bot wants the lesson to be learned to be maybe don't give him any space. Pops it up. That's too far away, though. Needed to make that a lot more vertical. Now 1 minute left. Down to earth. Running out of opportunities here, and they've seen less and less of the offense as this game has gone by. J-Bot flung himself to the wrong side of that one. Almost got caught for it. LJ low boost. J-Bot over, but Bambi wasn't prepared for it. And just LJ running into tool. That's actually ruined them a little bit. Clock is not in Down to Earth's favor. Booming clear. LJ can just turn around, shepherd this one to the corner.
Yeah, it's been a good game for both teams. You know, the strategy was fine from the get-go. You can go down even if you're playing just fine. I think JJ from the very start of this game have had the right idea. Focus on those team plays, the mechanical threats that they've all got will definitely make space for them, because D2E have got to be anticipating solo plays so often, and they have to be covering the solo play angles so often. This is exactly what Jamal Jabari fans will want to see. Not just a win in style, but comeback win. That shows that they're definitely here mentally today, and so far in this tournament they should be okay here, unless Tool can put that on target. Oh my goodness, it's on again. It's on the goal line. Wow, D2E gave it a good go there, but they weren't able to put the final shot in. So close, and that was clutch from D2E. JJ actually covered it pretty well.
They certainly did, but just as we've started to think to ourselves, all right, Jamal Jabari have managed to start to escape their demons. They've got this. It's nice and comfortable. We see that happen for all the questions to start to rise back up yet again. But they have managed to get this. I'm sure Jamal Jabari would like to see at least one series where they don't have to go to Game 5 after losing both of them during the last regional. But they're going to have to try and keep up a decent pace in this one. As for Down to Earth, I do 100% agree with you. It looked like the strategy was correct. Just play around, you know, keep it nice and simple. Don't engage Jamal Jabari in a battle of mechanics, because you are not winning that one. Just wait for the mistakes, and the mistakes were coming through. There was a solid minute and a half there where that push up and push forward was just so aggressive from JJ that you felt a counter-attacking goal could come in. Instead, it was Jamal Jabari that managed to keep level heads. And they've got the Game 1 victory. So far, though, J-Bot looking like the most mechanically capable of this team. Like to see his teammates maybe not go flying past the ball next time around. So nice and quick. Over to J-Bot, loitering down the other side of the field. One thing I do really like, though, from Jamal Jabari is that they are pushing these defensive plays to the walls every single time. Even if it's not for a first-time challenge, they'll fake it out. Go to the left. Oh, what a shot! It's off the post! Whoa. But the woodwork can only deny Down to Earth for so long. And unlike the last game, they've got the goal.
That is a nasty recovery by Bambi. I mean, you know, it's a tap in on the goal line technically, but to get there, he pulled out an absolute pinpoint accurate recovery on the back wall. Needed to be quick, because if he waited any longer, it would have been easier to save. It would have been harder to put on target. But with that recovery, it was possible. Brilliant stuff from Bambi.
Yet again, Down to Earth take the lead. Need this one to stick around this time. Toasty. Again, just trying to play around that ball. He's not quite got it here. As Tool goes for the flick, and it's crossbar this time. Zeroing in with these precision shots. That's a fake out there from Krazix. Been cheeky to see that one go in. Bambi needs to avoid, well, exactly that, and J-Bot has bailed him out. How much longer? It's off the crossbar, and it's in. Down to Earth, causing their own problems.
Just relentless. You know, that wasn't a bad save by J-Bot. He didn't have a lot of time to react to it. Just anywhere will do as far as he's concerned. But this is just clinical from JJ. LJ wasted no time at all sending that shot in off the bar when he was uncontested from close range. And it's another great response from Jamal Jabari, who have just got to say well played to D2E on the opening goals in both these games. They haven't really done too much wrong, but you know, you don't need to be tilted. You don't need to be too upset when you're conceding goals of that quality, and I don't think that JJ are bothered, even though they're the favorites here.
To see which one will take it. Krazix taking it for LJ. constantly baiting that out, and LJ is going to rely upon Krasix to move that ball away. Pretty available for Tool to pass it to. The aerial battle has been very consistently won here by Jamal Jabari. They seem aware of it, constantly going up, forcing boosts to be used by their opponents. Now got full control of the midfield. That's pushed over to the sides. Down on the goal line, but can Krasix scramble the ball back into the midfield? He has managed to do so. Well played by him. Half the game left to go. We are still at 1 goal each. Tool can get off the backboard. Nothing else there available for him. Toasty finds LJ, and J-Bot just flies forward. Determined to try and maintain some sort of pressure on the opposing side of the field. Nothing there for him, though. Paced yet again. Oh, okay. Well, LJ is going to wonder why his teammate decided to take that one away from him.
Yeah, they're outpacing each other, it would seem, at times. Jamal Jabari really showing why they can be so dangerous. This is a relentless attack. They're stealing boosts. They're keeping the pressure up. And for the most part, they're not double committing in any of these shots, despite going very, very early for each of them. But we did see one time there, 2 players commit on a corner pass. That leaves no one in the middle for JJ. Now a bump mid-air. Composure for LJ will steer the ball clear of danger. D2E are getting chances every now and then. It's mostly JJ who are progressing here and who are aggressive. D2E are holding on, and they've looked good while defending with low boost.
Tool infield pass. Didn't get too much power on it. It's down to a minute, and whilst we have seen Jamal Jabari have the large majority of the offensive possession, seeing them in offense and then somehow going on to lose it is a very Jamal Jabari way to lose a game. So they're going to need to try and turn that around this time. Tool, good pace from him. Now J-Bot looks for the infield pass. I love that from Krasix. Just rotate straight down the line. Make sure that you've got that passing play covered for the rest of your team.
Yeah, it's very advanced rotation there by Krasix. And JJ do that very well. Now, how about LJ? You can't give him this much space. You can't give anyone in this lineup this much space. They will score. LJ puts in his second of the game. And although it's, an exquisite maneuver, for him, that's just a standard day at the office. 2-1 once again for Jamal Jabari.
Well, they didn't give him that much space. He didn't give himself that much space between himself and the wall. And he's beat both of them. And be off the backboards. LJ, well, disguised that he was going to try and blast it. Instead, takes his time a little bit more. Running out of time here down to earth. This is going to be another game that they lose off the first goal. No, it's not. Bambi's got a brace.
And there's a little bit of pressure on LJ, who was waiting to save this one. He knew he couldn't jump any earlier because J-Bot was flying in off the sidewall, back wall, sorry, to attempt to bump on him. That's left the net wide open. Bambi's got his second goal of the game. I wonder if either of them can pick up a hat-trick. Even playmakers on the field is an option for Krasix and J-Bot. It's been 2 combinations, 1 for each team. It's working well in the final third.
J-Bot with Bambi up in support. They had a shot at this last time. And what a pre-jump save, but it might still not be enough. Pass over it, crossbar denies a second one.
Oh my goodness, you have to feel for D2E. They lost the first game with the crossbar sending the ball into the ground in 0 seconds. And now they're going to lose this game if it keeps going like this. No, Toasty's accidentally cleared his own center ball. So chance once again for D2E to remedy the situation. Can they score against Jamal Jabari, against the run of play? Another tough one, another tough ask. But Bambi's first to the ball. Surprisingly slow to arrive there. Toasty kind of had the boost to the position to aggress that. I'm sure he would have been up much more quickly.
Oh, J-Bot, he's got himself caught out.
Oh.
He scrambled for a save. Too far forward originally. He's managed to get there eventually. Tool hasn't managed to collect that one. It's left for LJ, saved.
Wow.
And it's still going to be Jamal Jabari, though. We've seen them throughout this series. They don't like to give this position up without a fight. But Bambi's monster flick isn't going to give them too much of an option about it. Tool won't be there in time. Toasty pops the ball up. J-Bot on the wall. He's won the race. That's something that we're seeing much, much more in this second game from Down to Earth. They've been more ready for this aerial battle. One thing I do want to point out, Bambi is not in a rush to rotate back ever. Even in this overtime, he's staying downfield, collecting all the boosts, trying to just be an option for a redirect. Even again, just bumping away on Toasty. And it might give J-Bot some angles to work with. Not quite this time.
Yeah, what a save from J-Bot to keep his team in the game. He actually pre-jumped expecting a shot from a different player who ended up shooting the ball, and he still got in the way of it with no boost as well. These clutch defensive plays definitely going to be catching JJ off guard. They would have expected their offense, they would have expected their shots to find the back of the net with more consistency, I'm sure. That being said, there is just no way through on the counter for D2E.
Oh,
great
Bambi.
defense by Bambi. Sticks to the ball like glue, and once again denies JJ any way through to goal.
Bambi is having a fantastic game. Tool almost caught LJ out. Now it's going to fall to J-Bot. On target and in. And Down to Earth have got this one.
What a game. I mean, you think you're going to have to wait until day 3 or 4 of these regional events to get games of this quality and matchups of this quality. We're in round 1 of the upper bracket, and these two teams are absolutely going at it. Insane level on display for both. We had shots coming in that would have easily gone past any Season 9 team, a year ago in RLCS, but these days, the quality of defense is just something else. It's multiple saves by J-Bot in solo situations, and Jamal Jabari as well. I mean, their rotations are really denying Down to Earth many chances because they're just chasing any player who's dribbling from behind. And yeah, when you look at the quality of every single goal in this match, you realize just how well both teams are defending, because these are some accurate shots.
I love this new way of defending from Down to Earth. They don't defend with players in their own net. Their entire idea of defense is Bambi will just get it facing his own goal. He'll do it somehow. He'll get up. The pass will be coming in. He'll make sure he's able to intercept it. It works. We're certainly not going to complain about that. What Jamal Jabari might be complaining about is that they've let that last game slip through their fingers. Although LJ, that could be a phenomenal goal. It is a phenomenal goal. Jamal Jabari stamping their authority on game 3.
Oh my goodness, Toasty just moved the back wall a couple of car widths further away from where D2E thought it was and left it wide open for LJ, who's smashed that open net in style. I mean, it wasn't even entirely open, but there was enough of an open net there for LJ to score every single time. That is beautiful again with the assist coming out from Toasty. High-level stuff, Shogun, on every single game that we've seen. I'm just wondering, can these two teams keep it up for a whole 5-game series? That would be incredibly impressive from teams who aren't even considered top 10 in North America.
It's the sort of one that I don't feel like there's a performance that either of these teams can deliver that will make anybody pick them against Envy. That's just the reality of where they are. But they can make it interesting for everybody.
Yeah, it's a tough draw. Envy's definitely the nightmare draw out of all the best teams because they're the most consistent against the lower level teams these days, and they are just the best team in the winter split. When you look at the RLCSX regional results, Envy are simply a level ahead of all the other top teams. But, you'd rather, especially as Jamal Jabari, you'd rather run into NRG, you'd rather run into Space Station, you'd rather run into G2 unless G2 show up like they did in the most recent grid. Because G2 in RLCS regional events haven't been all that consistent. But yeah, Envy, that's a tough task for whoever makes it through.
Still outstanding gameplay we've seen so far. Toasty isn't going to get enough on that flip reset. Still option downfield. He goes skying past it. There's no fear on either of these teams. There's also very little midfield pressure, meaning that this no fear is a lot more open for either team that wants to take it. LJ staying downfield again.
Yeah, I'm loving the mix-up. There's, dribbling plays being attempted for both teams, hard clears, passing plays out of defense. This is absolute star quality mix-up in defense. But Krasix has completely hard-read that touch. And, Tool's got the right idea here. He wants to take a first touch, keep control, because he's all alone. He needs to buy some time for his team but that touch is far too heavy. Krasix lunges in, capitalizes well. Tool was mid-recovery.
I think that's the heaviest anyone's ever been hit by the ball. Like, I think he moved more than the ball did off his own touch.
Yeah,
maybe it's starting to rebel against us.
I mean, if you don't air roll through that, then it's definitely going to give you a bit of a knockback. I think Tool also caught the outside edge of the ball, so the ball bounced a bit away from him. He didn't stick to it like he wanted to. It's definitely an awkward position, though. It looks like just an unforced error, but simply the fact he's alone in defense there is a ton of pressure, and he knows that if he doesn't get the perfect touch, he's going to be giving away possession. So tons of pressure until there. Wasn't able to pull out the defensive play necessary there. He's got a chance to redeem himself in offense now. J-Bot misses his redirect to try and put that on target. With just 2 minutes left, this is easily the most difficult position that D2E have been in. They've kept every other game up until this point, at least within a goal or even. JJ have been just a bit faster. They're a bit more deadly in this third game. That being said, getting a bit wild with it. That was a pretty insane free jump from Krasix, and it didn't connect.
This is where Jamal Jabari want to be right now. Easing the way into the series. They haven't had what they would consider to be a comfortable series. I'd say gameplay-wise, these guys look pretty comfortable in terms of series. Well, how close the series is. It'll be anything but at the moment. Huge shot, though, from Krasix. And he's going to keep that one away from his own goal. I do get the feeling, though, for Down to Earth, if they are going to have a chance at this series, as we do see a third one go in, Krasix bags his second. We're going to need Bambi back to his Game 2 form.
Yeah, we're going to need all three of them to step up, because today, Jamal Jabari have been fantastic. They've brought their grid form, they brought their grid group stage form into this RLCSX regional. This is exactly the team that's been causing problems for pretty much everybody except Alpine. Alpine have got a great matchup against JJ, but everyone else that we've seen play them recently has struggled. D2E just can't get away from their goal in this match. They haven't had many chances to score. That's been a difference for them, because early on in games 1 and 2, they were able to create chances. They were able to surprise Jamal Jabari with their counter-attacking pressure. But Jamal Jabari have left no openings here.
And seeing this sort of form and this level of gameplay come in from... I'm going to compliment you once you get rid of it. All right, no. I'm throwing the compliment away, Jamal Jabari. You're not allowed it anymore. Instead, we're going to talk about how J-Bot has been gifted the easiest goal of his life.
Yeah, Toasty obviously trying to knock the ball into the back corner, not the bottom corner of his net. The back corner of the field would have been the preferred destination for that. But you can't be too worried for JJ. I think they've still got this, and that's a great 50-50 to make sure that they immediately get their 3-goal lead back. Tool, again, isolated in defense. You can't leave people isolated in defense against any start quality team. It's definitely not Jamal Jabari. They will find a way through.
That's the third time as well for Down to Earth that they've seen the kickoff play out in that way. Yeah. And they haven't adapted it yet.
Yeah, if they want to play this kickoff strategy, they need to try and get some ball pressure with either the player who's gone for the kickoff, or even more likely, the player who's cheating up and ends up on the wrong side of the ball. You have to straight away turn around, pressure the ball from behind. If you leave your goalkeeper alone in the hunt for boosts at midfield, your goalkeeper is just in a terrible position. He can't challenge the ball and defend the net and defend the pass all at the same time. It's just not possible. You're always going to be second best, even in a 1v1, never mind a 2v1. So yeah, that's just a bit of a misplay on a couple of kickoffs here, causing problems for D2E. Unless they can, get some ball pressure on kickoffs that they're losing, their goalkeepers are going to continue to be in a lot of trouble.
And speaking of trouble, they now face down the barrel of going down to that lower bracket. And the big problem about losing in this first round is that you will be taking on whoever loses in the second round. So you'll be taking on a team that was in form yesterday, or one of the top teams that we expect to be in form at some point in this tournament. This is a hugely important match for D2E if they do want to try and grab themselves some more points. But right now, they are looking at a ferocious Jamal Jabari team, and a Jamal Jabari team that, as we can see from this play, can only really hurt themselves when it comes to being put under defensive pressure.
Yeah, you know, they play at a very fast pace, and they're always trying to make perfect touches, even if there's high risk involved. And when you play that style, you can end up hurting yourself in your confusion. So I would say all the goals that game, 5 goals created by Jamal Jabari, although the last one was credited, of course, to D2E. D2E need to try and establish pressure. They can't sit back in defense for the entire game. You know, they could do it for a long time. They can do it for a while, but they can't do it the entire time. They need to have threats, or else Jamal Jabari will just bring everyone forward, start to get those demos, start to get those close range passing plays, and you already know they're not going to hold back with their shots.
It's interesting to see the drop-off that we do get from D2E, because when we're in this sort of rotation where it's back and forth, you know, both teams trading who gets to take offense, they look fine. You know, they delay the rotation back, they hunt down that third man on the offensive team to try and cut away their options. But when they get to that moment where all 3 players are 100% required, we've got to have everyone back now, that's where they struggle. They don't like to leave people lingering about. Oh, wow. Save. All right, well, that's just something that's going to frustrate you when you're against match point.
Yeah, you've got to try and not get frustrated, though, because it's going to happen. Jamal Jabari are going to make huge plays. They're going to make very early reads. They're not going to read that one, though. Anymore. Tool brings the hammer. 1-0. What an aerial that was.
Well, I don't know if it was the better play for Tool or was a better call from Johnny. Either way, 1-0 is going to be exactly what D2E wanted, and we are right back to where we were in games 1 and 2. Well, anyone that has been around will also realize that neither of those leads lasted. LJ sees Bambi take it away from him. Almost a rebound shot. J-Bot gets past 1. He's got a second touch past Toasty. He's only got LJ left. Got to wipe out his car. This is much better from D2E. Annihilated in the previous game. This time they've got that confidence. They're leaving players around, and see how much quicker they are for it. Tool has been bumped away. And, well, we're not too sure how the physics work on that one. However, Jamal Jabari won't be questioning it.
Yeah, Tool really outmuscles his man there and just plows straight through. Luckily for Jamal Jabari, he lost all momentum while doing so. Now this is a great chance. Jamal Jabari are getting multiple demos and bumps here, but the miss from Toasty relieves pressure just for a moment. That should be enough for D2E to stabilize. Bambi reads J-Bot's pass. Tool reads LJ's air dribble. Great stuff from D2E, but still, JJ coming forward and scoring. You can only keep them out so long. Krasix easily finds the bottom corner after a perfect first touch to the backboard.
Look at the timing of it as well. LJ threatens J-Bot with a demo. He's forced to go back. It leaves the tiniest gap available for Krasix. And that is all he requires. 1 each. Yet again, that opening goal does not last for D2E. We're going to see whether or not that is the last shout that they've had in this series, or whether or not they've got one more goal in them to try and take us over to Champions Field. What I think would be the perfect way to start us off this weekend, but that is not how you do it. Gap is left wide open, and LJ does not need more than an invitation than that.
Oh dear, yeah, J-Bot's just completely misread this. He didn't realize a free shot was coming in, but he should definitely be playing that a little bit more safely. Again, they're 1-1. They don't need to be taking any risks like that with their third man. They can just stay back, cover the long shot, cover any bad 50-50s that might be coming their way. You know, if they're down a goal, fair enough. You have to be a bit more risky, but they weren't. They were actually just tied up. That's just a bit of a unfortunate mispositioning by J-Bot.
J-Bot now the last one back. And the team will come to join him. And Toasty and Krasix have got each other's way. That invites D2E to escape their side of the field. That's exactly what they need to do. 100 seconds left in this game. Still a goal required for D2E. Tool turns around, gets the block on the clear. Jabari trying to find some gap available for them to get out of their own side of the field. Tool moving in. Disguised infield passing play. None of it really seems to bother them right now, but this might. Toasty wins the race. He's broken away. That will be the 2-goal lead.
I know this one you can understand. Bambi's just giving it a go there. He's trying desperately to continue the attack, but he gets beaten to the ball. Toasty too quick for him. And now Jamal Jabari are on the brink to get that second round match against Envy. I'm sure that's what the majority of the fans are going to be hoping for, based on the predictions from Twitch chat on the outcome of this game. The O2E have played well. It's a shame to see them go out with a few defensive mistakes and overextensions. It doesn't really tell a good story or a good summary of how they've played this series out. For the most part, they've been calculated and they've responded extremely well to JJ's immense pressure that they bring to the table. And there's been some clutch moments for all three players in D2E. They're all showing up offensively. Time's running out now, so they just have to go completely all in here. They might concede a fourth, but at this point, who cares?
Oh, Toasty would have done so as well if Tool didn't at least body block him. You're 100% correct. They've got to get something, and they've got to get something right now. Tool will need to be the provider of it. He's got it to Bambi, and that was on target. It's been the go-to plan so far for D2E. Hasn't really resulted in all that many goals, though, leaving players downfield. J-Bot needs a block. He's got half of one. Shot will be in, and we've got ourselves a game.
So just one small mistake from Jamal Jabari allows D2E to come back into this one. LJ's in no man's land, but great shot from Bambi. He just had to go for it there. Got to test the keeper. And with 14 seconds left, they're in with a chance.
They'll test the keeper, and as they have done in the previous few 0-second situations, they've tested the crossbar as well. This one will need to be better from them. Off the backboard to finish it off. LJ will miss it. Krazix takes the boost, though. That leaves them in a horrid spot on D2E. They can't let this fall onto the floor anymore. Bambi, second touch off the backboard. LJ will be to it miles before anybody else. And there's just so much pace right now for Jamal Jabari. They see the ball to the floor, and they see themselves through to take on Team Envy.
Yeah, strong kickoff at the end of the game there from Jamal Jabari. Never gave D2E a chance in the closing seconds. And they take this one 3-1. Great series to start off the final RLCSX regional event. And really, I think this series shows what RLCSX has been all about. It's brand new teams playing at an unbelievably high level. We're starting to see this more and more as we progress through the season. There's so many teams now that can put on a phenomenal show for us. And this hasn't been the case in any season of RLCS before now. So it's wonderful to see. Down to earth. They're down to the lower bracket, but I think they've got a chance. Doesn't matter who they go up against. If they play like this, they've definitely got an opportunity. And Envy better be looking out. Jamal Jabari are on a hot streak.